Okay, we're recording. Okay, my name is Lanie Leach,
My name is Anna Richardson.
and this is our senior capstone project, and it's called Hattie Scale Festival.
So Hattie Scout Festival is a fake festival that we came up with, and we wanted to do a branding project because we've both kind of thrown shows before, and because of COVID, we knew that a show may not be the most realistic option at the moment, and so we wanted to kind of hone our design skills and our marketing and PR skills, and so this is our branding package, and so we basically created consistent content for different forms of social media channels and all that good stuff. To show how we would like promote the festival and actually like organize it.
So some of the websites and applications that we use to create everything are Adobe Fresco, which we used on our separate iPads. So we were basically able to like make little doodles for what you'll see later, and then send those to Adobe Illustrator and like really go in and like fine tune them. Then we used InDesign as well, Adobe InDesign that is, to create our festival guide. Then we used Adobe Audition to create our radio ad. We used Mockup Tree and FreePic to actually put our designs into what they would actually look like, which you'll see later in our presentation as well. And we would either purchase those or they had like educational options that we could use them for. And we used Wix.com to create our website for the festival. So enjoy.
So the first thing we kind of created for our festival was our logo. And so we both knew that we wanted to address the idea that women are not really represented on the business side of the music industry as well as men are. And also as well, when you look at a festival lineup, typically it's pretty male heavy and pretty male dominant. And so we wanted to create a festival that was by women and for women. And so that was kind of the imagery that we wanted to like evoke through our logo. And so we drew this sketched illustration of a woman holding obviously a record on one side and then the female symbol on the other, just to represent kind of our core like values and mission of really elevating women in the industry and empowering them to be like awesome creators and business professionals. So yeah, this was our like first element that we created and basically what we based all of our other designs off of. So the next big element that we created was our lineup poster. And so as you can see, it's in a similar like sketched style as the logo. So we wanted to keep our content consistent. That way, if a person looked at it, they'd be able to tell, okay, like this is probably for the same thing. And so basically our lineup poster, we drew all the illustrations on Adobe Fresco, like Lanie was talking about, and then we imported them and like scaled them and all that good stuff, positioned them in Adobe Illustrator. And so obviously this is our dream lineup, and we recognize that it may not be the most realistic to have some of these acts in Hattiesburg or with the cost, but the important thing is that our headliners are in purple, and so we wanted to show how a lineup poster would typically be set up. So the headliners would be at the top, and then as you move down the poster, the acts get smaller in terms of just popularity and reach at the moment. So you can see our local artists are down at the bottom, down by where the dates are, and then our headliners are up at the top. And once again, we included the record and the female symbol just to create some consistency across the board. So our set schedules, we wanted to create basically like a package that a like festival attendee would get in the mail that would include like their wristband and a schedule and a map, all that good stuff. So this is the first element of that. And this is the set schedule. So obviously it has both days of the festivals and you can clearly see what time everything is. And we wanted to break it up by stage so that people could see like kind of how the stages overlap and they can plan their time efficiently. And then the stars at the bottom is our separate like third keynote stage. So there were only a couple of acts on those. And so we chose to kind of highlight those as special events because they are special events. And so to emphasize that through an element like a star rather than putting them on a stage like schedule. So this is the other element of the package that they might receive in the mail. So obviously for festivals, they're going to get a wristband as their ticket to enter the festival so that they can keep it on for both days and they don't have to keep up with like a paper ticket or anything. And so we created 3 different levels of tickets to kind of offset some of the costs and as part of our pricing strategy. And so you can see that the general admission wristband is in the bottom right. And that's something that any attendee would get. And then the designs change as you move up in the levels, ending with our one on the left, which would be our diamond level. And I drew all these snakes, and I wanted to keep the design consistent as far as the snakes go so that you could tell it was for the same festival, but change the colors up a little bit so that it's clear, like when they're going through security or anything, like the people can look for the different colors. And then also these would probably be like RFID enabled so that they would have like a cashless feature on the grounds to be able to just scan and pay. That's kind of where the market is trending. And so we wanted to put them in the mock-ups so that you could see the design and see what they would probably actually look like. They would just have an RFID chip and the little plastic piece in the middle. So yeah, those are our wristbands. And then this is the staging. So you can see that they all kind of look like the same stage in this, but that's just for the mock-up. The Girl Boss stage would actually probably be a different style stage because it would be a smaller one, but we wanted to show the consistency between the different stages as far as the banners go. The only difference really being the size and the sponsors at the bottom. So you can see that on like the Femme Fatale stage, it's sponsored by the International Alliance of Women in Music. And then the Girl Boss stage is sponsored by a couple of different people. And so we really wanted to highlight female sponsorships and like women-owned company as our partners and sponsors, just because we wanted our mission and our values to be congruent with the sponsors we chose. So for the Girl Boss stage, one of our sponsors is like She Shreds, which is a zine actually that focuses on like female bassists and guitarists, all that stuff. And so yeah, that was our main difference between our staging, is just the size of the stages and then the different sponsors that would actually be helping pay for those stages. And yeah, so so this would be like the backside. We talked about the package that they would receive in the mail with the schedule. And so typically like you would include a map on the back of it so that they could have the schedule and map in one place. And so this would be the backside of the schedule or the front side of the schedule, depending on which way you're looking at it. And this basically just shows the different areas around the park and gives an attendee an overview of the different entrances and exits, so that if they've never been to Chain Park in Hattiesburg before, they kind of have a little bit more of an idea of where things will be laid out for them. And I drew all these different elements in Adobe Fresco and imported them into Illustrator and arranged them and all that. But I wanted to just kind of bring the festival site to life a little bit and kind of create excitement for the festival through these illustrations and get people, yeah, just interested in what the festival grounds have to offer. So this is our information booth. So we wanted to kind of use the same like siding and imagery as the actual stages themselves, so that if attendees were to approach an information booth, they would be able to clearly see that it's run by the staff and volunteers of our festival rather than a vendor or a sponsor. So that's why we use, once again, like the purple wrappings, just to kind of create that consistency and allow people to be able to find it easier, all that good stuff. We did choose a pink background on this one, just to kind of set it apart a little bit from the stages and break it up a little bit. But yeah, we would have multiple of these around the festival area just to make sure that if people need something, they can find someone clearly by its markings.
So next we have all of our these are not all of them, but we have some of our social media posts in this mock-up. So everyone would be able to see just kind of like what the initial vibe is for our Instagram page and like the overall theme. To create a lot of these posts, we actually did have a photo shoot where we got a group of girls together and we told them who the artist that would be performing would be, and we told them to please dress up however they see fit. how they would actually dress to a festival like this. So we got a pretty good like bit of diversity like among like how they dressed, which was really cool. Um, so this initial post with the tarot cards in the hands like this, that caption would read, "We see an all-female music festival in your future, and it's called Hattie Scout Festival. Stay tuned." So we wanted to create like an overall like kind of ethereal, mystical, very like female empowered type of vibe for everything. So we wanted to keep like the way we spoke on behalf of our brand to have that same kind of tone. So we also included like several different like emoji styles that would go with the different posts. So it would be like the crown, a girl meditating, crystal ball, hearts, peace signs, mushrooms, diamonds, like all that kind of stuff. We also had a pretty good group of hashtags that we would want to use to keep everything consistent as well. So if you were to hashtag Hattie Scout Festival or Hattie Scout Fest, you would be able to see like a bunch of different posts that were all for Hattie Scout Fest to keep everything like all together. The next post is the one that says "Let's go, girls." This picture of a girl with her glasses like that, and to go off the Shania Twain song "Let's Go, Girls," it would read, "Let's go to Hattie Scout Fest, girls. Tag your girl squad below and comment who you're most excited to see perform." So here, when we're asking people to like tag their girl squad and comment, we're trying to get our consumers to engage with us and like help our boost our posts and things like that, so other people would see them in the algorithm, and yeah. And then when they're tagging their friends and things like that, they're showing their friends like, "Oh, there's this new festival coming out. Maybe we should think about going." So we're just getting more engagement through that way. The next picture is the one of the 4 girls sitting and it says 10 days. So this would be literally 10 days before our music festival. So it says, "We're 10 days away from the biggest girl party of the year. Where are you and your girl squad traveling from?" So this is another way just to try and really get people to engage with us and boost our posts and just have a fun way to interact and like build a community of real strong women, to be honest. The next two actually are our set times, and that would help everyone to know like, okay, my favorite artist is performing at this time, so we should try and be at that stage at this time. So for Saturday, that would be the first one to come out, and it would say day by day lineups are out. Tag your girl squad and tell us who you're most excited to see. Again, creating more engagement, more of a community, maybe getting other people to meet other people through social media that are going to the festival so they can meet up. Just building community basically. For the Sunday one, it says Sunday's lineup has arrived. Who will you be camping out for all day? Tag your girl squad and tell them why you love them. Again, just building community, building engagement, all the good things. This next one is our mock-up for our Facebook page. So like Anna has gone over, our main target market is going to be Gen Z through millennials, so like 18 to 35-ish. For most of Gen Z, they don't use Facebook, so our Facebook page would be mostly going towards the millennial side and maybe the older Gen Z, I guess you could say. So our Facebook and our Instagram would be linked, so they would be posting these same posts simultaneously. Our logo is our profile picture, and then the hands from the lineup poster would be our cover photo just for continuity and making sure everything just looks the same and is very aesthetically pleasing. So next we have our website, which I created on Wix.com, and you can actually visit the website by clicking this link right here. Just for like our presentation, we thought that, you know, it would just be too much going back and forth. So basically, this would be the homepage, and it would say that 2-day passes are going on sale in August of 2021. And then if you scroll down a little, it has our slogan, "By Women for Women," because it's about damn time. And we have the background that's just going along with the overall theme of everything else. So like the poster, the staging and everything, it all just matches really well. There's a few more tabs that you can go to. There's a festival tab that goes through like the more information about the festival, like why it's called Hattie Scout Festival, things to do on the ground, and then you can also download a PDF of the map in case you've lost yours, and that feature would become available just closer to time. There's also an FAQ page where you can see what kind of bags you can bring, if there are travel plans, like how you should travel here, if you can bring certain water bottles, that kind of thing. That's more of our like safety net for things like that. The next tab is the lineup tab, and that's where you can just see the lineup of what we've already posted, and that would become available as we announce the lineup. And then the last tab is tickets, to where you can actually buy the tickets and see the different tiers. So there's single day tickets, general admission, VIP, and diamond tickets. So next we have the festival guide that I created using Adobe InDesign. This one definitely took a while. So this festival guide encapsulates like a lot of different written material. So it's a Meet the Founders page, which is about how we came about doing this, and it's more just general information since this was our capstone project and like how we started working together. And then it also uses a bunch of the little doodles and stuff that we created on Adobe Fresco and has our pictures and things like that. Another page that we wanted to include was what to wear to the festival. So going back to our social media page um, and talking about the photo shoot that we had, these girls just came in whatever they thought that they would wear, and we wanted people to know that you can literally wear whatever you want, just whatever you're comfortable in. And we just pointed out a few of the different things that people were wearing. So like Spacey Casey vibes for Casey Musgraves, wearing fabric colors, boots, tennis shoes, animal print, holographic, wearing sunglasses, things like that. And there are a bunch more pages, and you can actually click the words festival guide right here as well to read the whole thing and see all the different pages. Um, there's, I think, 16 pages in total, including the front and back covers. There's a spread about why it's called Hattie Scout Festival, spotlights on the artists from Mississippi and the keynote speakers, and then a page about the sponsors as well. And the back cover goes into just another version of our lineup, pretty much.
So this is kind of some of the merchandise we decided to design. So we wanted to just, obviously, when you go to a music festival, they'll have a merchandise tent. And so we wanted to do a couple of mock-ups of what some of that merchandise might look like. So here you can see some of our designs on some crew neck sweatshirts. So our main slogan, by women, for women, because it's about damn time, on a crew neck, just because it would harken back to our festival without being in your face. It's Hattie Scout Fest, and some people are into that. So, and then we also have a tote bag just to kind of show that we wouldn't just sell like t-shirts and crew necks. We'd probably be selling tote bags, buttons, hats, all that good stuff, mostly with our logo. So that was just an example of that. And then we also had a couple of different t-shirt designs. And so the first one in the top left has the by women, for women on the front, like the crew neck does, but it also has the lineup on the back. And the one on the top right is just our logo with the date and place. And then the bottom ones are our Instagram announcement, but you can't really see in these pictures, but on the tarot cards themselves, they actually have like the date and place of the festival. So if you wanted something that was more of an artistic, I guess, kind of t-shirt design, that would be the option. And we wanted to include just a range of colors that also were consistent with our branding, so that yeah, there's just like when somebody sees it, they know that it's Hattie Scout Fest, and it's another form of kind of just branding out in the open, and gives people the opportunity to support the festival in a different way.
So next we have some of the PR materials that I created. So this would be our press release and how it'd be formatted. This is what I've learned in some of my PR classes. So it goes into detail about like how there's a music festival coming to Hattiesburg, that 2 students at Southern Miss created it for their capstone project. It goes into some of the headliners, a few of those like midliners, I would say, and then the Mississippi artists and keynote speakers. And it also has a few quotes from us as well. And this is how like a real press release would look for us. And I would say that this press release would start going out around like this time, like literally like right now. And that would be also seen in like closer to August, because the tickets would go on sale in August. And then maybe a few more edits, and it would go back into circulation probably around January, I'd say. We also have our radio advertisement right here that I'm going to play for you guys. So that would be a radio advertisement that would play on the radio. It's 30 seconds, so it meets the qualifications as well.
So the last element kind of our whole thing is I am really interested in marketing. And so to kind of bring this to life a little bit more, I wanted to just discuss the business side of things and why we chose some of the elements we chose and all of that good stuff. So the first part of the business plan is just what you would typically see in planning and logistical things. So we created like a mission statement and detailed our values and our goals as a festival. And then we also detailed like the event requirements itself. So just like basic production needs and like legal requirements, what permits, all that good stuff. And then the main bulk of the business plan itself is our actual like market analysis and marketing strategy. And so this is something that people would typically do for any business that's coming about, just to position the product in a way that's going to reach its target audience. And so I did a little bit of an industry overview, just looking at current trends in music festivals and concert promotion, as well as current trends related to women in festivals, and like our target audience's current trends. So like one of the things is that millennials are really into like cause marketing or something that aligns with their values. And so they're more likely to trust a brand or go for a brand that aligns with their values. And so positioning our brand to be centered around female empowerment is obviously like a clear indication of a response to that trend. And so just different elements like that, where we go through and actually like look at kind of the reason why we did what we did as far as our design. And then the last elements kind of were an actual like marketing strategy itself. So we went through the different stages of being like, okay, in the pre-event part of our marketing strategy, like from now until August, like what would it look like before our lineup is actually released? What would our marketing look like once our lineup is released? And what would it look like day to day and then right before the festival? So obviously you're gonna write posts differently if you're 4 months out versus 10 days out. And so that's kind of a look more in depth into that. And then we talked about our pricing strategy and our budget and how we would use sponsorships and partnerships with vendors, that sort of thing, to kind of offset some of the costs of booking and the venue and the facilities and all that good stuff. And so in that, we also talked about the wristbands, like I mentioned earlier, and the different tiers of wristbands. And then also maybe like marketing strategies related to buying your wristband early and getting early bird pricing, that sort of thing. And so this was really just like a comprehensive way to look at not only why we did what we did, but also how a festival could potentially use the content that we've created in a more meaningful way. So that was our last little bit, but we had a lot of fun like putting this together, and I really wish it could happen now that it's actually all put together. So maybe catch us in 2022. We'll see. Probably not with Lizzo, but
Yeah, so we just want to thank y'all for watching our presentation. We're really proud of what we've accomplished in honestly a really short amount of time. And yeah, just like Anna said, like I really hope this could happen because you know what? It is about damn time. So thank y'all.
thanks.